Alright, Outlaw Radio Live fans, we are live on the air with none other than the legendary DJ Mike T from the legendary rap group Comptons Most Wanted. How you doing tonight?
Man, I'm good. I'm in the studio.
Oh, that's what's up.
So check this out. You want to hear something crazy?
Oh, man.
As loud as my voice is, I got everything connected right now. So check this out.
Oh, yo,
how that sound? That sound good to you?
Oh, that sounds fire, man. I like that.
I can actually DJ live right now to come right through.
Hey, man, if you want to do a couple DJs, you can, man. I don't mind. I don't think my audience would mind.
Okay, we might do that. Well, but let's get on going where we going.
Most definitely. So I have to ask, what made you decide to get into the music industry?
Man, this is the craziest story. Well, growing up, you don't hear hip-hop, you know what I'm saying? So before K-Day came out, I had a cousin. He stayed down the street from me. He used to get these tapes from some guy from New York. And they always had these mixes on it, certain little underground Ice-T stuff and Bobcat stuff. And I heard Herbie Hancock for the first time. And when I heard that scratch by DST, I wanted to be a DJ right then and there. I knew as soon as I heard it. This was before it hit the radio. We had got this underground tape. And as soon as I heard that scratch by DST, I was hooked on being a DJ. Growing up, you're going to love hip-hop because that's just something different. You know what I'm saying? It's like how the kids like the newer artists today, the millennial artists, same way we like rap back when it came out. We were just very attracted to it.
Oh, yeah, man. And speaking of that, you also work with an underground rapper called Quicksand. How did you and him initially get connected?
That was through DJ Slip. A lot of the stuff that I did early on came through DJ Slip. Slip was Slip used to be a lifeguard at a pool I used to swim at in LA called it was Sportsman's Park, then it turned to Jesse Owens Park, and he was a lifeguard. And one day I was sitting in his van, and he had a mixtape. I asked him who mixed it. He said him. I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I did not think that Slip, as big as he was back then, was a DJ. So I kind of played it off a little bit. And then one day I was at a high school dance, and him and his partner showed up, and they DJ'd the dance. And I asked him, can I DJ? And he didn't believe I could DJ then. You know what I'm saying? It was like reversal roles. And I went and spent, and he said, okay. Then I joined his crew. And when he started producing and making those electro records with Unknown, he had put me with Quicksand. And through the mix, I ended up with CMW because 8 and them had liked my style too. They all of them were from Compton. Even Quicksand was from Compton. So a lot of Compton rappers that kind of dug my style. I'm from Inglewood.
Oh, nice.
That's how I got with Quicksand, and he's still my buddy. I just went and visited him early this year.
Oh, nice. Do you guys have any projects coming up at all?
He don't rap no more. I mean, he did that. That was so long ago. He just stopped after that. He just, some people aren't really. They haven't heard of her. They're so smart. They crazy. That's
yeah.
not. He's very intelligent. So he's seen his future with it. He didn't really want to deal with his future that way, And I kind of got that way in the mid '90s a little bit with the ongoing. Everybody's still trying to prove themselves. I already proved who I was, So I just kind of sat back and let my DBAs do the work for me instead of promoting myself and trying to be super guy out there and burn my name out. I just let my DBAs work for me.
Hey, it's the best way to do it. If your name's already out there, might as well just let it do its own work.
Yeah, but see, the West Coast and that gangster rap, everybody, you got 100,000 people in the streets, all of them want to rap. So the ones that respect you. The ones that don't understand always come with some type of enigma on how things supposed to be. And usually I ignore them because I already know they don't know what the hell they're talking about anyway. But, that's the things I go through waiting down, with me and 8 in our career. And Chill, Chill is like my brother. Thick and thin, Chill has never changed his attitude. Chill's a go-getter, and he's still got a higher level than 8 and I have, you know what I'm saying, within us as far as I see. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, and 8, I love 8 because 8's been consistent. Even when I didn't feel like I would go to certain promo tours or certain tours, but I wouldn't go on all the tours. I wouldn't go to all the radio interviews and stuff like that because I'm a behind-the-scenes person. So I would plan a lot of stuff out there, and once I see it work, so I'm going my way. I'm good. That's the way I like to work, But 8 stayed with consistency. I got to give him a lot of credit for just sticking to his guns and showing that you can actually have a job in the recording industry when you're not on TV. Your stuff ain't always on the radio, but you can still pay your house note, your rent, and take care of your children and with car notes and, and things like that. That's what he showed, consecutively. He made an album always like almost 2010, and he maybe missed maybe 1 or 2 years in between 1988 in 2010, maybe 2 years, maybe he took off, you know what I'm saying, touring, and he couldn't make an album.
Damn.
So I kind of appreciate him for that one, you know.
When you actually when you talk about Chill, me and the Chill, man, I can see why he got his name, because he's a very chilled out, individual, man. Very nice guy.
You know what? That's the thing about him. It's the nice people you got to look out for. We never try to make Chill. I've seen Chill get mad. That's why they call him Hurricane Chili, because when he get mad, he turns into a totally different person. And it's so funny. Not really funny, because they kind of always used to, the whole group of them over there, ain't Chill and Bam, would press each other buttons on the road all the time, just to bother each other. That's the way they got along. They kind of let me slip out of it, because we grew up. It was kind of like a childhood type of a thing, a little bonding that they had. And they would press each other buttons. Sometimes Chill would get mad, and I'd be sitting there. Him and Bam had gotten into a fist fight. Not really a fist fight, but they was more wrestling and fighting in the hotel over a can of spray starts.
So who won that one? I gotta ask that. Who won that fight?
Chill ended up being the victor in the end because he wanted that can of spray starch. But Bam just came in pushing. It was me and Chill that shared a room this time. Usually I end up with my own room, but this time I said, man, just get everybody in. Let's just do what we gonna do. So we down south somewhere, and I had the spray pack. I had it in my luggage, and Bam came to the room, and Chill was in his boxers and his t-shirt. They were so funny because I'm ironing my pants, and Chill say, Mike T, I got next on that spray can, and Bam said, I got this spray can, cuz. And he snatched. He said, you done, Mike? I said, yes. So he snatched it with the walk to his room, and they just start fighting in the hotel room. Chill was in his boxers. They all rolling on the floor, and I'm over there laughing like it wasn't no tomorrow. It just grown ass man over a can of spray starch. That's stupid. And Chill came back in a few minutes later, mad with that can in his hand, and locked the door. And Bam just banging on the door. And I went out there. We just started laughing.
Is that how he got the name Bam Bam?
What's that?
Is that how he got the nickname Bam Bam at all?
Boom Bam. Boom. That's just his neighborhood nickname. And Bam's an old soul. That's why I like Bam. Bam will come with some stuff make you look at him and have to think real hard twice again. Like, from that angle, huh? Okay.
So
everybody in the group played their part. You know what I'm saying? Now it's kind of like we all grown ass men, and schedules kind of bump heads a little bit. So like this last album that came out, everybody put in on this last album that was able to put in on it. Everybody, even I showed up for a couple of things, and a couple of songs didn't actually get put on there the way I wanted them, because I did scratch it for like more than one song. I did scratch it for like 4 songs, but only scratch it made them for one. I think they kind of forgot because they was trying to suffer and fuse these schedules. Everybody stay in different directions.
Understandable, yeah.
Kind of like when we get in there, everybody's trying to like cram everything into these sessions before everybody gets burnt out and tired.
And when we're on the topic of Compton's Most Wanted, man, how did you all get connected? Like, how did Compton's Most Wanted as a group start?
That started with Lonzo of the World Class Wrecking Crew coming across 8 and them demo tape. He gave the demo tape to DJ Unknown. DJ Slip had a music rental business called Music People back in the days in Gardena, where that's why I worked out of with him, and he had hundreds of speakers. If you ever go back and check the video on YouTube called Bass by King T, all the speakers back there were Slip. All equipment except the stage was all Slips. He had owned that for years. That's how he ended up funding being a producer and all that. Was about making money renting equipment and turntables and stuff. But everybody had to in LA. Everybody had to go to him. I'm talking about Egyptian Lover, Joe Cooley, Bobcat, DJ Pooh. Everybody that was anybody had to go through Slip to rent these equipments to do these parties. So Slip, Unknown bought him the tape. I was there the day Unknown bought him the cassette, and I listened. There was 3 songs on there, and I listened to it, and he was like, Unknown, he didn't know what to do with it. And I said, man, I was tripping off the words that they were using. I said, they sound real street, but they're kind of using more intelligent words. And Unknown was like, so what you think? I said, I think Terry should, that Slip name, Terry, I said, I think Terry should produce it. I was just starting to get off into producing at that time, so I wasn't really that good, But Slip ended up producing. He was producing us, Quicksand. That's how he came up with the compilation album. That was all Slip's production. And after the compilation, everybody started getting deals this way, and this way. And everybody that got a deal, basically, I ended up working with after that. I was like everybody's DJ. So Comptons Most Wanted stood out the most because we just hit like fire. We just took off like fire,
Oh, yeah, you guys were a super group, man. Like, one of my favorites growing up as well, man. You all were a super group, man. Canada has mad love for Comptons Most Wanted.
It's crazy how it unraveled, because when everything boiled down, it's like Well, you gotta understand one thing though, and I'm just throwing anybody that's listening. In the world of business, you can start as a group, but always have your own mind. But always try to be a group. It's like, that's one thing we always knew. Everybody has their own entity. Like me, I have West Coast Scratch Gang. That's just my production company. That's how I'm able to, I build podcast studios. I build all type of stuff for other people's, studios and stuff like that. That's how I'm able to, do the phone calling. DJ at the same time, and I'm recording this too. You know what I'm saying? So I can put it on my podcast station. But that's what I do. But 8 has his own bit, and he coaches football. Chill's a producer, and he's an artist. You know what I'm saying? He's an engineer. Bam does solar panels. Big to the boy, he dabbles in a marijuana dispensary. He builds them and sells them. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their niche and their notch, but we all try to get together to support each other. That's the main goal after all these years. This has been like, almost 30-something years, 32 years?
Shit. I actually didn't think it was that
30,
long.
Over 30 years to group. Well, now with Big to the Boy came in 2006, him and Diamond Rich. But once they came in, we take them all. It's like the group is the whole foundation. That's like the family, but everybody has their own way of pointing and going. That's the way that they. But when Unraveled Unknown ended up being the villain, but he was the big brother figure at first. He's the one that knew everything. He's the one that guided us. He's the one that, no, don't do this, do this. No, don't do this, do this. And then he turned around and over something he could have avoided when I told him just pay people what they were and stop shoveling it up under the table to build. He wanted to build a super recording studio. But he was taking from Peter to pay Paul. He was taking H's money because H signed with him when H was underage, and the contract continued over when H turned 18. And he was taking the money, put it in the studio. And I understood what he was doing. I was like, but dude, you got to pay some people what they worth. I can't see him with that type of money right now. I'm like, dude, you can't see him with that type of money because we arguing.
Yeah.
I'm like 22 years old. I'm like 21, 22. I'm arguing with this grown-ass 30-year-old man. Pay him his money. So what happened was we had a big meeting after that, and I pulled slip. I told him to tell H everything because he was a kid. He was younger. Him and Chill were younger than all of us.
Oh shit.
Ed Capone had already told me when he left the group. The guy who I called the white guy on the first album, him and Unknown had already got into it because Unknown had finagled some money and lowered the standards for the first album. Then he signed A to the contract, so Ed just walked away. Ed said, "Man, I can't work with this guy." He said, "Take care, A." So when I found the flaw in the contract, I'm like, dude, he was doing his tax. I said, dude, you can't do this. You just cannot do this. He looking at me like he looked at me like a little boy, which I wasn't. I was 21 years old. I was just becoming a man.
Yeah.
He said, "How do you know this?" I said, "Dude, I went to college. I know how to do taxes. I know how to do all this stuff. You see a gangster, but you don't see that. Be a gangster, you got to be above the law. I mean, you have to have some type of intelligence. You can't be a thug or a goon or a hoodlum. You have to be a gangster, mean above the law." But I'm telling him, in a grown man's voice, don't do it. We went together, we got lawyers, and I know he ended up getting moved out of the contract. So when after we did Music to Drive-By, that's the last project Unknown was on, 8 had to go and get that. Epic had to start a new label for 8 called Epic Streets. Then 8 did the solo featuring CMW. That's a plan he and I had put together when we was on Music to Drive-By. You got to show who the pen is. You can't just show the group, show who the rap artist is. And everything's always pre-ordered with us. If people don't know this, we do things just to keep people trying to take sides, because it was like Crip and Blood influence within us, and it was like, that's not going to help at the end of the day because everything's about a retirement plan. So you Crip, you Blood, you not affiliated, we all trying to get paid and rest our feet at the end of the, when everything tallies up,
Yeah,
that's where I'm at right now.
It's all business.
And the end of your lifetime is all business. You need to have that paperwork ready for your kids to enjoy a little bit of the fruits of labor that you worked hard for, and to tell them how to manage it. People, they think, I can understand thinking. I only thought 2 feet ahead back then too, but I did think a little further. So that was behind me juggling so much. I had like 2 DBAs, and then I had an actual job, 9-to-5 job. I was DJing 3 or 4 nightclubs a week, and I was going through I was getting 4 hours sleep a night back then. It almost killed me. It almost killed me after about 4 years. It almost got me. I had to just take everything off and just relax my body and just go into a zone. I did not know the lack of sleep and deprivation and work can actually kill your ass. But I was just trying this new at the time when I was doing it. Everybody, it was really talent based. When CMW got started, it was really about talent. But once they thought there was little kids with no education doing it, and it was like, you know, they're copying us, and you know, we can do it too. And then it became a competition level out of this world. And I'm talking about all the street levels, and it's still the same way today.
Like when you brought up Music to Drive By, that's actually my favorite Compton's Most Wanted album, man. Such an inspirational just album in itself, man. I truly think that's one of your guys' best records, in my opinion.
You want to know why that was? Because Unknown was in charge of 5 songs. We were able to control what content got on the record. Unknown was the first person on the first 2 albums. The It's a Constant Thing and Straight Checking Them. Unknown was in charge of anything that he was the last voice. When Music Drive By came, that's when everything the shit hit the fan. And we had the big meeting at Epic, and first nobody was gonna say nothing. We was at the meeting. They was all ooh and ah because we went to the top floor with the top guy over everything at Epic. And the guy said, anybody got anything to say? And I just raised my hand and went the fuck off. and Terry was saying, no. And 8 Ball just dropped like, damn, Mike, now. I'm like, right now. Because they ain't always trusted me. Nigga, right now. I know was like, no, Mike, no. I'm like, fuck you. Terry, we can fight too. I don't give a damn. You're not treating him like that because his contract extends over to my contract. Because we were the 2 members of the group. Chill was in jail. You guys are outside. You guys are producers. You screwing us from the outside in. And it reflects me too. And Terry just got quiet. And I said what I had to say. Hank Caldwell called Unknown in the back and said, "You guys are under investigation, but everything's still a go." They love the album.
Oh yeah, man. And I have to say, how can you not love that album? Personally, that album is like straight slappers from beginning to end.
Yeah, you know what? It's so crazy because the reason that the whole topic came up about the group when we went to talk to Hank Caldwell is because we didn't clear all the samples. And he said, whose bright-ass idea was it not to clear these samples? And I had told 8 off the top and Slip to use my name because I had a really weird contract. I had an independent artist contract. Which means I get all the perks as a signed artist, and I get everything. But I can choose if I want to go or not choose. So after that album, I decided to slow down my touring and just concentrate on more club DJing in LA. And I ended up becoming the #1 club DJ in LA and held that down for like 3 years. And nobody really knew because I'm a behind-the-scenes person. I show up at the event, I turn the event out, and I go home. Go back to the turf.
That's the best way to do it. You know what I mean? Too many people knowing exactly who you are brings way too much bullshit and controversy in your life, man. Best just do your work.
You know, I'm an Inglewood dude, so you know Inglewood got a good reputation, but it also has a bad reputation. So people didn't know which way to go with me, but most people off their personal instinct understood. Deal with him with business, and he will talk to you straight. How I talk now. That's how I talk back then. But if it ain't my interest, and you trying to just wow me by being a bully, then we always had an issue. You know, that was me being I'm a stand-up guy. You know, but after a certain amount of time, you like, man, screw everybody. I'm living off these DBAs. And I took that to my next level, too. So I was just sitting back. I'm still sitting back today. People don't know how things work, but that's how things work, you know.
And speaking of another classic joint, Quicksand and CMW both appeared on the Compton Completion, the Sound Control Mob Under Investigation album. What's the story behind that iconic record, man?
That's all DJ Slip. That's all DJ. Even you heard the song I did with Looney Tunes called Inglewood's Finest?
Yes, that
Looney
was actually
Tunes
my
was on that album
question.
too called Legion of Bone.
That was actually
Looney
my next
Tunes was on the Sound Control. He was on the Sound Under Investigation album too under the name Legion of Bone. And that was all through DJ Slip.
Oh, okay. But and also I with
so Lonzo had the studio.
What's sorry about that. You can go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna ask, how did you get hooked up with DJ Looney Tunes?
Looney Tunes and I went to high school together.
Oh, you guys
we
went
to
back.
Morningside High School, as well as Big Syke from Thug Life, with Tupac Thug Life that passed away. We all went to high school together.
Oh crap! Small world.
Yeah, Elder Campbell that played for the Lakers. Lou, all of us in class of '86. We all were together. I was a school DJ. Lou was rapping. Syke wasn't rapping back then. Syke was like, he was a talented dude though, but he ended up leaving the school. But I think he went to go play football for Sarah or something. He got into it with one of the football coaches, Coach Hawk, had slapped him during a game. He said he wasn't playing hard enough. And I think after they hit Tyrus, the whole team had quit. Like, you can't hit, you know what I'm saying? Everybody had put street issues aside. Even Inglewood Muggs, he's a top security guard for Tech 9 and Mac 10 and E40 and all. He was class of '87, but he was there with us too. He played on the football team. I think he walked off too.
Oh, damn.
I think everybody got mad that year and walked off.
You also programmed and produced many of the classic Compton's Most Wanted tracks. How does it feel knowing your work is still known worldwide after all these years, man?
You know what? The crazy thing is about that, I didn't put a lot of effort into it. The hood took me under in like 20 minutes just playing around. You know how you get to the drum machine, you have your certain kit sounds?
Yeah.
I had decided to sample Isaac Hayes, and it's the drum, kick, and snare, and then I found the loop, and I just started playing with that. And when I gave Eight like 20 songs. He sat there for like an hour and a half to listen to every song, and that song was the second to the last on the B side of the cassette. He said, "I want that song." I said, "Take it." And then the other songs, the Tim Dog song, he just made me mad. That's when we made that song. He pissed me off in New York with the dumbest conversation I've ever heard in my life. And we was good though until he said what he said. He approached us, said that he wanted to be like the Sunlight, we were going to be like planets around him. He wanted us to go back and tell the West Coast to diss him, to build his fame up. He wanted, he's a battle rapper, so he wanted to build his fame up by having all the West Coast. I said, if you have all the West Coast waste their time and their name and energy on you, they won't ever become nothing. You will be the bragging right man in New York. Look, I got the whole West Coast dissing me. He can call his own shots. That made me mad, so I grabbed his record sample and turned his own voice against me. That's what I did. I went home and drank 2 40 ounces, and I was super drunk and came up with that song in 15 minutes.
Shit, you know what I mean?
My mind went retro though. That and my mind went to another. I never drank 2 40 ounces back to back. Usually after the first one, I'm done. I drank the first one in like 10 minutes and was halfway done with the second one, but the ideas just kept formulating in my head. I said, I want to sample this. I knew everything that's in that song. I placed it in that song for that reason. And it was just so upsetting looking at this dude, like, you seriously gonna try to play us that way? You know, it's kind of like game recognized game.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted to diss him anyway, but the point being is, we ain't gonna see what you're gonna do, but you're gonna go behind the scenes in New York and really raise your bar up, and you can be able to ask for $1 million contract when that was pretty much unheard of back then in '92. You see what I'm saying? So I just turned his own voice against him to play him out. You know what I'm saying? People say, dude, he just clowned you with your own shit. You see, after that, he just kind of fizzled and went his own little way, you know.
But honestly, so speaking of New York, you also produced the song "Does Your Man Know About Me" produced the song "Does Your Man Know About Me" on the Juice movie soundtrack. What's the story behind that? Pardon?
I didn't do that.
You didn't?
I did not do that. It's more Mike T's than one.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry about that. My bad.
There's more Mike. It's the crazy thing is, I think it's Detroit's Most Wanted. They DJ name was Mike T too. So Compton's Most Wanted and Detroit's Most Wanted both had a Mike T. Mike Tyson nickname was Mike T. There's a rapper up in the Bay Area name was Mike T. And there was also a house DJ in L.A. We worked at the same club. Both our names was Mike T.
Oh, okay. I did not know that.
He was house.
Okay, well, we learn something new every day. When I saw that, like, at first I didn't know that Compton's Most Wanted did any work on that soundtrack personally. I didn't know that. Then when I seen it, I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, but it explains why I didn't know, because I don't know the other Mike T. So this one could possibly be wrong, because unfortunately I got the same question off the same website. But the song Hood Took Me Under was featured on the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. How does it feel knowing your work is on one of the most famous video games in the world?
That one right there, I actually had feelings behind it. I actually got excited when I seen that. When I bought it, I didn't even know it was on there. And I looked, I said, oh my goodness, good. But see, I don't get no royalties for it because it has samples. I wasn't able to clear it past to where I could own anything off of it. So that just goes back to Isaac Hayes. If there's the remix we did for the video, then that goes to the other groups that had anything to do. We couldn't get no clearance on that sample, but we had to take one for the team with that one.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite video games when I was a kid, man. So like when I saw that you did work on that, I was like, yo, that's sick.
And it's funny because my daughter actually bought it. And she was probably about 12 years old when she bought it at the time. She said, Daddy, look what I got. I said, what you got? She said, I got all the Grand Theft Autos. I said, when I get finished out here with my friends, I said, I'll be in there later. We just start playing it for months. And then next thing I know, the song popped on. I just fell out laughing.
The good old days when you had to search around the map to actually find the 2-player icon.
Exactly. Get the little red Corvette, whatever they had, like a Corvette and a thing. You buy the beach. I used to go by the beach and play it and run people over.
Oh man, the good old days. So you, as you mentioned
earlier, when it was worth it.
Oh, it was worth it. Oh yeah. So you also own and operate your own company, as you mentioned earlier, called Scratch Gang Productions. How did that come to be, and what services do you offer?
Well, actually, I do music that you can lease for mixtape music. I build podcast studios with the production company, though, and I actually run a podcast for my church too, and I build them from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? I got 3 laptops going in here and two. I got everything going in here to where you can do music production, video production. I got a video shoot I got to start Friday. I'm going to go out to Marina Del Rey and Inglewood and do a video shoot with that one. So I just do stuff here or there, you know what I'm saying? Stay a little busy. But 2020, I'm going to wind a lot of stuff down because I've done too much. I've done enough for me. You know, I reached my plateau. And then, you know, as long as I step to the side, I can just maybe give a little business game out to people, and I just want to see the next generation because their mind is really ready for, especially the video part. You know, the audio part is kind of cheesy to me right now, but the video part, I think, is a lot of the youngsters can really get into that. You know, that's what I'm looking forward to.
And also recently, as you mentioned earlier in the interview as well, Comptons Most Wanted just dropped a new record after 13 years called Gangsta Business. How did that record come to be, and where can our listeners grab themselves a copy?
Well, you can listen to that on Spotify or Tidal or something like that. But that came to be because that's something that Aiden Chill has been trying to do since day one. They got their rhythm and their style basically from EPMD. They was going to make a record back in the days called ECMP, called Aiden Chill Making Paper. You ever go back to their old interviews, they always speak about this. It's something they never got off their chest. So going down the line, you know, they had different paths. You know, Chill was doing the Dirty OGs, and Chill had brought Aiden on the first generation type of deal. Chill, he's kind of like me. We try to keep things together. So when a new album came up, it was basically for Aiden Chill, for that Aiden Chill Making Paper album. That's kind of how this new album came about.
Okay. So also recently you sent me an email about one of the songs that didn't make the cut on the new album called Rough House. Why didn't that song make the cut?
No, it wasn't Rough House, but no, the song that didn't make. Sorry about that. The song that didn't make the cut was Real Compton.
Real Compton, sorry. Why didn't that track make the cut?
Because I had posted it on the website. I went when the group. Before this album came together, everybody was doing their own thing. I said, you know what? Nobody's really representing CMW right now. So I decided to put a website together, do a DBA under CMW Gang, and then when we did the song and they sent it to me in an email, I put the song as the intro song to go onto the website. So when they heard, they thought I leaked it too fast, but a lot of people didn't hear the song as many people actually heard the song. So the song to me was still good. You know what I'm saying? It's like when Aiden did the solo album before this double album, he had a song out with the Outlaws that was out years before he released it on that album. You know what I'm saying? It's like this the crowd needs something, because the only thing about the group sometimes the structure is still the old school structure with them. And a lot of stuff getting lost. It's like it's here today, gone tomorrow, because they're not greasing the wheels with this electronic and digital world. You got to throw something out there.
You got to get them pumped, you got to get them ready for it.
Yeah, you know, so what happens is they're trying to do the big old school intro, but they'll wait 2 or 3 years. Now, Real Compton, I believe that song, we did that song in like 2015.
Okay.
And the album didn't come out to this year. So you see how long the process went for us doing it, but we can work a lot faster just via digital? Because I actually did a lot of the scratching I did at home. Like, I'm doing now, and I sent an email. You know, that's the easiest way to work. But then again, I went down to the studio session when I did Raw and recut some stuff, and I told them to put what I did at home and put it inside.
That's not bad. Yeah, the digital age really has made a lot of stuff easier.
What's that?
I was going to say the digital age really did make a lot of stuff easier for the music industry.
Way easier. Copyrights, you can copyright a whole album now for $55. BMI registration is free. Come on. Sound exchange is free. Just show them your ID.
That's
It
crazy.
doesn't take much now. And these people still don't do it.
So, also, I noticed on cmwgang.com that you created a radio station called Wanted Gang Radio 24/7. What made you decide to start a 24-hour radio station?
Because 8 made so many dang albums and nobody could ever hear the albums because he would want, people only promote what they want to promote. I say, you know what? It's enough music between all of us collectively. Every member of the group. Only person I don't have an album under is Boom Bam. He has an album that's never made it to the market, but he has it. I need to get that from him. And I got a few, maybe some more demos, like underground stuff that Big to the Boy got. But we had enough music collectively, like 72 hours worth of music to play music nonstop for 3 days. Then I put it on random shuffle, so you never know what you're gonna get.
Oh crap! I actually did not know that. Like that's a big catalog, man. Wow.
72 hours worth of music straight with my song. I didn't put all my music on. I just put my chosen song. I think I just put the rapper songs on there. That I had that rap under my production. I stuck that up under there. And I didn't even put on the Slip Got albums that he has that's in the archives that nobody would have. I produced that nobody's one that got leaked, but a lot of songs that we worked on back in the 90s that nobody's ever heard. With other artists that nobody, that came up through the rankings,
Also on that
Got
website, you guys also offer merchandise. So what merchandise do you guys offer?
Well, I have, actually, the merchandise, I had shirts printed, but I got tired of sitting on a lot of them. I'm going to get those away for charity. But I'm going through Teespring right now. I have one with the Straight Checking Them cassette, the old school cassette and the album cover on the front. And I got one with the last picture all the group members took together. The last picture with Boom Bam, Big to the Boy, Diamond Rich, 8, Chill, and Mike T, and AD. We was all at the forum for one of the Crush groups. We have never taken a picture after that together, everybody together. And I put that on the T-shirt.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm actually going to be getting one of those hoodies actually soon. It's getting cold down here in Canada, so I got to get some CMW gear.
Actually, they gave me a Christmas code I could put up there to have you guys get it for cheaper. I might as well. I just got it today. I haven't done it yet. Been doing some other business, but I need to do that too. Yeah, Real Compton. That's one of my favorite songs. And actually, after it came out, they went and redid it. They didn't put that on the album either.
Do you ever think they'd release it as a single or anything like that?
I think they should just use that song basically for show intro.
That would be good as well.
The people over here, the people over there, you know what I'm saying? So I think they should do that more of a show intro type of a song because it's real quick. They both just got a verse apiece and they get right to the point that they can go on to the show,
That's true because a lot of shows they need intros. And that would probably be a good idea to do that. So you also worked with Dogman Compton. You produced him as well. How did you and Dogman get connected? And do you guys still work together?
Dogman? Oh man, that's crazy. We got connected at Crazy Tune's funeral. We actually got connected at Crazy Tune's funeral. Well, actually, I connected with him on Facebook. He was rapping a freestyle one day, and I said, "You need some beats, man." He was like, "Man, I got to take care of some business. I hit you in about 6 months," and we ended up going to Crazy Tune's funeral. And everybody got in my car because everybody parked at one spot at 8's sister house. We all went to the funeral, and he got in my car, and I was playing a beat, and he was rapping to it. I said, "You know what?" I said, "I got about 30 beats that I'm not used." That's why I started releasing. I'm gonna jump to another subject real quick. That's why I started releasing instrumental albums because I make songs I don't think nobody can rap to. So I just started putting them as instrumentals. But he grabbed a few of the instrumentals, he started writing to them, and we came up with an album.
That's crazy. And also you actually have an instrumental albums. Are those available for the public at all to buy?
Yeah, they're on Spotify. They're on the West Coast Crash Gang. It's like 10 albums. They're all instrumentals. Okay, and I actually got one coming out on January the 1st, and I got another one. I think I'm 4 songs into this last album. At the 2020, I'm going to really slow down on everything, so I'm going to do these volumes called The Outro. It might be the world's longest outro. It may be 20 volumes of the outro, but it's called The Outro till I get tired, and I'll plug everything and say I'm done.
So I have to ask DJ Mike T, a lot of there's a lot of inspiring DJs in the world, and I was wondering if any of them are listening or do listen to this. What is some great advice you can give some inspiring DJs that want to actually make it in the rap game?
Figure out a routine. Figure out basically what your scratch is your signature. Your scratch is like writing your name. And what happens is you have to actually adapt everybody's style to build your own style. Unless you like a DJ Premier and you just come up with something just authentic. I give Premier a lot of credit. That's a very authentic DJ right there. I'm talking about as far as when you hear him, it's like he reinvented something without even thinking. But you have to learn to do what is called a signature scratch. It's like Jazzy Jeff has one. You know what I'm saying? Joe Cooley, you'll know, if you were into DJing the way we were, everybody knew each other's sound. It could be 50 DJ that kind of sound similar, but we all knew each other's signature. You know, so you have to develop, and now it's more showmanship than anything, but you really need to learn how to DJ. Learn the old school ethic, but learn how to smooth it out. You know, just hit them real fast and hard, just like making a 1-minute video for Instagram. Hit them real fast and hard, and just smooth out everything so people start looking like, make that decision. I think I want to hire him. But people don't. They show out. They show out with body and attitude more than style and swagger. It's like they put a look and a feeling within their body, thinking they touching the outer limits, and no, all you're doing is just building an ambience up under your skin that's never getting past it. But you got to actually learn how to mix and DJ and control the crowd. That's why they call it a DJ controller. I was like a puppeteer when I used to DJ club. If I knew a fight was brewing on the dance floor, I could be able to change the music to make them fight real quick so the security guards can break the fight up and get them out the club. We'll start back partying less than 3 minutes later. I was able to control the crowd that way with music.
That's pretty awesome, man. I've never heard or seen anybody that could actually do that. That's actually really awesome.
Actually, there was a friend of mine used to always clown me because nobody knew this for about, I can't say what year it was before, like a long time in LA, nobody was playing slow music because I took actually other DJs, older and young, used to pattern after me, and I stopped playing slow music in the clubs. I don't know why I did it. I just decided to take slow music out, and people started, they didn't notice it for about 6 months, and somebody said, Mike T stopped playing slow music. Guess what? All the DJs stopped playing slow music. And I don't know why. I think I was just clowning one day, and I told a friend of mine, I said, dude, I'm going to stop playing soul music for like 2 months. I said, watch all the DJs do it. They would actually, a lot of club DJs, I was a battle DJ, and I was a club DJ. Back then, a club DJ was a club DJ. Only other person I knew that was a battle DJ and a club DJ in the same sense was Chris the Glove. That was it. Other cats like Battle Cat, a lot of other DJs like that, DJ Aladdin, I try to get all the K-Day mix masters in on the club scene. It's two totally different environments. And the promoters didn't really want what they were offering. You know, it's like you have to be able to, like I said, hit them real fast and hard, and you have to go back kind of like, and even Battle Cat say to this day, like, Mike, you had the club scene on lock. And nobody had expected me coming off the streets to do that. A lot of the club DJs didn't want to mess with me till they heard me DJ. They was like, this dude is very gifted, and they all picked me up and kind of like mentored me, my mentality a certain way. Like Sidney Thompson, Chris Brazil, General Lee, Chris the Glove, DJ Gus. They had all kind of put me up under their wing and kind of like made sure I kept my right mentality while I was doing these clubs and didn't bring that street attitude into what they had as a way of living. You know, I looked at DJ as a hobby job. They looked at it as a job. And that was the problem, you know, that they had to, you know, when I was 19 and 20 years old doing these 21 and over clubs, wasn't even supposed to be in there anyway. And they would come and talk to me to where they, you know, they were like, man, look, we're not talking to the gangster part of Mike T. We talking to the businessman. And I'm talking about generally, they would actually say, I'd be looking at them straight in their face like, wow. All I can do is give y'all thumbs up and admire the beauty of it right now. Y'all just looked right past me and knew up under all this stuff was really there, the person about business.
And you know that's pretty cool, man. A lot of people in those environments, you know, a lot of people just look at a person, oh, you're a gangbanger. But the fact that these people actually looked at you as a businessman, you know, that's respect.
Yeah, but I told the club promoters, I said, check that. They always ask me like, why did you never dress up on 21 and over? Why are you walking in with these house shoes on and these sweatshirts and hats on to the back? I said, one of these days I'm gonna tell y'all why. And I said, it's basically upon I said the vision of Michael Jackson. I was just joking with him when I said it, right? So about 3 months later, I dressed up real nice and came to the, was at the Paradise 24, or 21, it was Thursday nights with 21 and over. I was probably about 19 to 20. I dressed up real nice, and I went in there, and I said, the reason why I dressed this way is because I'm signed on Epic Records. And they was like, you're lying. I was like, I'm not lying. They went and they checked it out, and they came back, and they said, he's not lying. And I said, they said, so what you want to do, pay you more money? I said, no, pay me the money you paying me. I said, and just let me dress the way I want to dress, and we cool. I said, if y'all don't want me to be around the people, then let me DJ both rooms. They had 2 rooms. And then they upped my pay, to DJ both rooms. But that's all it was. I just told them, so all I want to do is dress the way I dress, to be comfortable. And they agreed with me. So everything was good. It was gravy after that.
And I have to ask, Mike, what's next for you? What is next for DJ Mike T? Any projects, any DJ shows coming up, any projects?
I think I'm gonna follow your lead. I'm gonna do the podcast.
It's actually fun, you know what I mean?
I think that's what I'm gonna do. But like I said, in 2020, I'm gonna fade out to black because I like to travel. I like to fish. I like to do sportsman stuff. So, that's what I'm headed to. I'm headed towards that, and I've been doing that. So a lot of people have seen me. You look at my Instagram and Facebook, you see I'm throwing my pole. I debated today that I feel like going. I was like, nah, not right now. I'll wait till like Thursday and I'll go. But that's the thing that I like to do. I'm 50 years old, but I've been doing this since I was 14 to 15.
Oh shit! I didn't know you were 50. I thought you were only like maybe mid 40s.
Nah, I'm 50, man.
Shit.
Ain't them younger than I am. I got started like I said, as soon as I heard Herbie Hancock Rocket, it was a rap. The DST, that was a rap. Hey, you want to hear a funny story though? Actually, the club I used to DJ for, Paradise 24, they kicked me out. Guess why they kicked me out the club?
Why is that?
We're playing "Bitch Better Have My Money" by AMG one night.
Oh God.
And AMG and I was partners. It was so funny though. I stopped the music and just came in with "Bitch Better Have My Money." And man, they booed me, and the promoters came in. They said, when you finish that song, grab your stuff, meet us in the front. They said, gave me my money, said, you gotta go. I said, I'm telling y'all right now, that song ain't gonna get no radio play. It's gonna hit the charts. Give it 2 weeks. They called me back in 2 weeks and said, Mike, we sorry, but it's like I said, being a club DJ is a certain way you do things. And I didn't go. They always try to keep my mentality cool, but breaking things the wrong way. But that was my street mentality, to be a little crude and rude, but it's gonna be talent behind it. Yeah. So I was really trying to break that sample. It wasn't really the "Bitch Better Have My Money" part. It was the sample that AMG and Quick had used to make that song. Had blew my mind when I heard it. I was like, man, I was just thrown for a loop.
So how did you and AMG get connected?
Hold on, you went away for a second.
Oh, sorry about that. How did you and AMG get connected?
At that same club.
Really? Okay.
And plus, I was in the record pool with Tracy and Courtney. Not Courtney. Danny Foots and Terrence Toy, called Impact Record Pool. Now it's called Ill Network. But I was connected with them, and Tracy and Courtney was in charge of AMG's production. So they had called me in. They was trying to have me DJ for AMG. They ended up picking up Quick. Then I met Quick over there. I met Boss over there. They was in charge of Boss too. Then I ended up producing another group called RSVP that Quick was producing, and Quick and I had connected right then. We became friends. It's a small world out there. High C, he was dating my sister-in-law.
Whoa.
For years.
Shit, it's a small
right next door. Yep, I see. So, we would always chit-chat. People, everybody want to see this and that, but we always kept it just between us. Our conversations was strictly between us.
So did you
Quick,
also know...
Quick and Hey.
Oh, sorry. Did you also know Tony A. the Wizard? He worked with High C as well?
Nah, that's one thing. I've never met him, but I got to give him a lot of credit these days. The way he just designed himself and made a thought and a vision with the Rhodium Swap meeting, he just took off with it. And I've been watching all his podcasts and everything. He had my boy Misfit Soto on there, and I truly appreciated that because Misfit, he and I were when I was building podcast studios. I was in the same building Misfit was in. I had met him when he had got signed to OMB Records at that time. I know the owners of that label. So, Like I said, sometimes it turns into a small world. But I've never met Tony A. That's one person. But I got a request to go on his podcast though. He's really gonna truly find.
You should do it, man. I really think you should.
I am. I'm gonna do that. I know he's really gonna truly find out about me and High C though. He's right next door. My brother married the sister to High C was dating.
Wow. So
that's my sister-in-law.
I think Tony might have the same reaction with the whole small world thing. I think he might.
So the whole time Aiden Quick was beefing, I was friends with Second to None, High C, AMG, Quick. We all were buddies. And Quick was so astounded by that Aiden had dissed him. I remember Quick had got the longest face when I took his. Quick had told me at the same club that I got fired from, Paradise 24. Quick came up there one night. We started talking. He said, "Man, tell Aiden I want to make a record with him." I said, "I don't think he's gonna do that." He said, "What you talking about?" I said, "He made a diss record about you." He said, "Why you do that?" And I told him why. He said, "I didn't mean that." I said, "I know, because when I let Aiden hear the red tape by Quick, I said, 'How do you feel about the lyrics?' He said that he wasn't dissing me. And I said, "So what you gonna do?" He said, "You'll see." And he walked in the studio, and I backed my truck up, and I went on about my business. Next thing I know, he had a song dissing Quick. Oh. And Quick was like, "Man, why? Man, I like Aiden. He couldn't understand, like, what did I do?" And I said, "You didn't do nothing." I said, "That's him." I said, "I laid down the law to Quick." I said, "Check it out. I know I don't have nothing to do with it." I said, "I got to make my money with this label." So I said, "Every video I'm in, everything I work on, it's only for the money." I said, "But between you and I, you know where I feel with this." He said, "You're right." So this is one thing Quick has said. He said, "I'm not going to respond off of what A said." He said, "But if A keep pushing my button, I'm going to have to be a rapper. I'm going to have to take him out." And that's exactly what he ended up doing. And see, people didn't know I was holding a lot inside at the time. But you got to understand, I grew up in Inglewood, so I'm on the red side of the yard. Aiden, I'm on the blue side, so I knew all the Bloods. So I'm over there in Compton, over in Track News' worst enemy, the Campanellas. They got their voices to say. The After Sparks telling me this. The Inglewood car, they telling me this. The East Side, the West, everybody has these stories to tell me about how they don't like Aiden being a Crip, but they love Mike T. Because I always been supportive since I was a little kid. But if it go to this, that, and the other, they was like, but I never told them how Quick felt. I just left that in the air, like, let them resolve the problem.
It's the best way to do it sometimes, especially in those circumstances when you have, like, different colors involved. Best just stay back and be like, all right. You know what I mean?
I could have diffused it, but see, I can't diffuse A's homeboys. You know what I'm saying? But I never had a problem with his homeboys. See, people always wanted these issues to come up. That's the simple mind of today's society. It's like, A got to fight A plus got to fight A negative, and it's not always in that frame of mind when it comes to real business and longevity. So that one I kind of pulled back, but I always left insiders for second, and I'd always talk to them. We hung out AMG, he did not care. AMG back in the days acted like the person he rapped on his records. AMG was a force to be reckoned with when we was young. We 21, 22. This guy was on the go. He was spontaneous. He was the exact person that he was. So he didn't rap about it and become. He was already that person. He said, "I'm gonna take me and enhance it." And all I could do was look at him. And I said, "Man, when we get older, man, I'm just gonna still look at you the same way, like you're a little damn genius." That's all I could tell him.
So I do gotta ask this question. So there's a song out there called Mike T's Funky Scratch with DJ Looney Tunes. Was that actually you? I want to ask that.
Mike T Funky Scratch was Comptons' Most Wanted song.
Okay. I want to make sure, because I've been playing that, to help promote this interview and whatnot. I want to make sure I was going in the right direction with this, with all the other DJ Mike T's.
Yeah, no, Mike T Funky Scratch is the song about me that 8 did. That was all 8's idea. Looney Tunes and I made Inglewood's Finest.
Okay.
That's something that we had made. But Lou was a DJ before I was a DJ. He ended up becoming a rapper. He was actually a DJ when I met him. And he decided, back when we were still in high school, like 1984, he decided to start writing raps.
Oh, sick. That's way back in the day.
Yeah. Way back. So, a lot of people, but my thing was when I started DJing, I took it 111%. I took it to the next level. So even my friends, they still my friends to today. Ain't no hardship. They used to clown me. And they wanted to go to Venice Beach on Saturdays and Sundays. I'd be like, no, I'm going to stay in the room and practice my mix. And I guess they'd just sing to me. They used to sing Biz Markie. He ain't into girls. He just into his music. Remember that song, The Vapors?
Yeah.
they will sing that to me every time I walk out the door. They say, "You mad?" I say, "No." I said, "But watch. I'm gonna be on record. Watch." So I'm telling you. But I already knew if you dedicate yourself and let everything go and concentrate on what you concentrate, you may be able to break that dull barrier and get where you need to be. It ain't for everybody. You know, everybody's not promised. You know, you're not promised tomorrow.
You got to live in the now, man. You got to live like every day is your last.
Yeah, not really your last. You have to really live to impress yourself. You have to make yourself want more. See, what happens is people got these guidelines and checklists these days, and they always had it. I'm gonna make a beat like this. I want to rap like this. I'm gonna have the best girl. I'm gonna have sex with 3 or 4 girls. I'm gonna cook this dope up. They got these remedial checklists instead of saying I'm gonna be the best damn artist ever. Kind of how Chance the Rapper's trying to be. He wants to be the best artist ever. You know, inspiration comes from different levels. So if you're going to be a rapper or anything, you have to bring it to the next level. You have to. If you go like dibble and dabble, play halfway, or always worried about where your respect level is, your respect level should be retirement. And see, that's why my 2020 vision is taking me to early retirement, because I can start putting. I've been working ever since I've been working since I've been legal enough to work. So my tax person stuff, I can start putting my retirement early. I was like, okay, shoot, I'm good.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean. All them royalties are coming in, man. Your DJ Mike T, you put in a lot of massive work.
I left all that at the label. I told the label, that's one thing I told them. I'm not taking none of that money now. Y'all say that till I come back and get it. That's one of the agreements I made when we argued with Unknown. Because actually, Epic had offered me a production deal. And I told Hank I'm not ready. I said, I got an SB12 at home, and I got an SB1200 at home. I'm not ready. He said, man, I can just put you in and you can learn. I'm like, I ain't ready. And I guess what?
What's that?
Right before that, even though I had did the Hood Took Me Under, I did Who's Fucking Who, Tim Dog. Those were my ideas. And I pieced the guy program, Compton for Life. Rick Rock had all the samples, but he didn't know what to do with it. So I made the beat and I had to put all the samples and the loops in there and programmed it for 8, and I left. I just sat there. They was talking for like an hour. I just sat there with the headphones on and programmed a song. Got up in my truck and I took off. And I was actually ready, but I wanted to incorporate real music. This was in '92. I wanted to actually incorporate real music, and I didn't know how to play it. I still don't know how to play it. And I've taken music class. I still don't know how to play it. Because it's heartfelt. It has to be really talented. And if I play, it's not going to be heartfelt. It's going to be the actual basics of music. And in my mind, is saying anybody can do that.
So, Mike, I want to ask this: is there anything you want to tell the audience? Anything you want to just address to them at all while we have them here?
Yes. Do not waste your time being bitter on what you don't get in life. Don't accept the bare minimum. But accept you can only do so much for yourself, because nobody's promised tomorrow. But aim high. See, that's one thing I can say the new school has. They have a different work ethic than we had. They work 24/7. They understand all these mixtapes coming out, all these features coming out. You have to work. But if you don't, it's so cluttered now. It's so accessible is what I'm saying. In the recording industry, you may not make it. But try to make it, but don't be so bitter to where you hate on everybody else. There are still people in my generation, 50 and up, that hate on 8 and people for making it in a recording when they felt that I was more of a gangster, my lyrics were better, and this, that, and the other. And it's not. It may be true, but it's not in your will to. You're not promised tomorrow, so the most you can do is take what you have and make the best of it. And if you learn something along the way, like all the stuff you try to do to become artist, you can always become a manager.
That's
and
true.
You get the 20% of management, all you need is 5 groups, then you got 100%. They all got the $5 million deal, now you got $1 million. On 20%, do the math, come on. Don't, try to make it, because a lot of these artists end up owing at the end of the day. I don't owe nobody Jack Rabbit nothing. I don't owe nobody. I don't owe a bill. I don't have a car note. I don't even have a house. I don't owe nobody nothing. The only thing I owe is property taxes and bill money. That's it.
Gotta love bills, man.
So you want to try to be comfortable, shoot for the stars, but if you miss, at least you make a plateau out of yourself. That's what I figured out.
And that's true, man.
Oh, and stop doing the same thing. Oh my gosh, I swear I hate to say it's like 5 skeleton beats. 5 five deconstructive, the deconstructive funky drummer, the deconstructive this, and it's like always an 808 form, and everybody raps to these same bottom features like How in the House with the same steps, but the rooms may be a triangle, the roofs may be different, but the whole house is the damn same. That's what rap sounds like to me. It's like we were experimental. And it's like once they try to step outside the box, and as soon as they somebody says something, they go emo, they go right back to the same rhythm. Come on, break the dull barrier. We need more dull barriers, bro. That's what the art. Yeah, break the dull barrier. That's the thing. So you can elevate all this technology. Everything right now, technology is holding up music. Music isn't holding up music. It's technology. It's a rat race for these apps and certain VSTs and stuff like that to get them in first and bring these melodies out with the same beat patterns. And then there's a rat race for that. And the bar is just too low. These apps and these drops make people think. Go above their head sometimes.
It's true.
That's what everybody. That's why Rakim didn't make as many albums and songs as everybody. He made people think. That's why he stayed in it. KRS One. He made people think. When you make a person think,
you're gonna keep drawing them
back.
back.
Always add. Exactly, bro. You're not making a person think. You just running through the rhetoric, and you just going through the motions. You're gonna motion yourself in one door and right out the other. You ain't gonna even make it to the main floor. And with a contract and a bill that say you didn't make the quota for sales and streams, and we invested in.
And also, these new age rappers need to open their mouth when they rap. No mumble.
I'm not really on I think you know what? I always have a thing that things happen for a reason. And I think mumble rap was there because there's a lot of pissy attitude having ass people that didn't make it. And they always mumbling under their goddamn breath. I think that's a kind of a cheap shot that the executives do towards these people that's sour about their life. But you're right, they do need to open their mouth. But it takes me a minute to figure out what and why they do. Because sometimes it's like, you stupid. Then it's like, damn, I guess if I was their age, I think I would have did that too. Like the showing out the limits to put the money by the ear like the phone.
Yeah.
Showing these people that you're not on my level. But there is a better way of doing it than a kind of a childish way. But you got to understand the mass to think. The mass of the world is really on id.
And I have to admit, some of those songs, like some of them, not all of them, like a few of them are actually kind of catchy when you actually understand the words, and it's kind of like, all right, I see what you did there. You know what I mean? Some of it's catchy, but at the end of the day, the old school still has my heart.
Yeah, I listened to about 10 new songs today. I didn't like none of them. I kind of like Kevin Gates a little bit, and I like the NBA. What's that boy name? NBA. He had one song that I kind of dug his lyrics. I like he spit some real facts, but the rest of them was kind of like, I don't know. I think they flash it in their head too much. They really think they flash it past their skin or something. But it's like y'all jumping from. Well, they basically said they are the generation of the crack babies. So that's why I don't too much totally try to understand what they're doing. But it's not. I don't think it's all about cracking or the crack baby stuff. It's about what style they're trying to drain that vein as much as they can and get the most out of it that they can. Because the movie industry ain't letting the rappers in no more.
That's true.
You barely got T.I. and Cardi B on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? They're not letting them in like they used to.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Cardi B. I don't know how she won that. I think it was like Rap Record of the Year award or something like that, or she went diamond or whatever.
Because it's not for us. They're not making it for. They're making it for the id people. Remember, we got the id, the ego, and the super ego.
Yeah.
They're making it for the id. They're not making it for the ego or the adult.
When I seen that shit, Mike, I was like, "Are you kidding me right now? There's so many more deserving individuals." I'm just sitting back and like, Cardi B, really? Like, you know what I mean? What is wrong with this world?
It's because, but you gotta understand. When I first started listening to rap, I was in too. I gotta reflect on myself. But it's more integrity out there, though. You know what I'm saying? As far as what they pushing for, it's kind of weird. It's how there's some very smart mind balancing this stuff, and they're doing it in the dumbest way ever.
Oh, I agree.
They're not really letting nobody tell the truth. And if you tell the truth, you have to be crafty like Kendrick Lamar to tell the truth. It's so ridiculous. It's like he has to turn into like damn near the devil's advocate, but a joker. to get a point across to you people that you are being too superficial and you're not really being who you naturally supposed to be, and it's going to hurt you in the end. That's why I like Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? J. Cole just comes out and tells you. Drake just stays Drake. You know what I'm saying? But I had to go through my mind and like, I said, there's only two people I don't like in the industry. And one I could tolerate, which is Lil Yachty, but I knew he wasn't going to get too far. I didn't like Lil Yachty because he was practicing in my ear. When he made a record, it still sounded like he needed to go in there and practice some more. And I don't like Rick Ross because the persona that he pursues. As a business person, he A1+, but that persona he has, even though he worked to be himself, I'm on Freeway Ricky's side with that one. I got to be because I'm from the Mighty West, man, and he see me for that one, and he's still a fear of a black hat, if you ask me.
The real cats know that the Freeway Rick Ross is the real Rick Ross.
It's CB4.
Oh yeah.
He ran to all the investment firms to stay a business, so I can't disrespect the business.
That's true, man.
Because at the end of the day, the judge said it was business, and the dispute's over. But it's like, I can't go with that. So every time I hear a song with it, it may be the best song in the world. He may have I just had to. I grew up in a certain way. It's about respect.
Respect is key, man. It really is. You gotta give respect to get respect.
Exactly. You gotta understand. CMW was the first Crip and Blood rap group ever. We was way before Westside Connection.
See, and it's crazy though. When I first interviewed the Chill, I actually did not know that you guys were like Crips and Bloods together. I did not know that until the Chill actually explained that to me. And I was sitting back, I'm like, wait, what? Like I was listening to your guys' music and I did not know that. You know what I mean? It's until you actually talk to the people, some things you never learn.
Exactly. So Anthony went to try to promote that for us in DC, and we told H said he didn't care. I said I'm not doing it. I'm not basing my business on a Blood or a Crip. Blood or Crip is actually above the law theory. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My mentality when I walked into the industry was to show that there's talent up under that rock that you're not paying attention to. That's who Mike T was. Once I got there, I became the #1 DJ. I produced, like you said, the Hood took me in his own video game. I did what I had to do. That was my mission. I made a signature for myself. I hung with the best. Like I said, one of my greatest days ever was growing up listening to UTFO and then going to do a show in Columbus, Ohio, and going to Mixmaster Ice House. He wanted to record me DJ. And I was like 21. I geeked up like I'm going to his house. He like, I want to record you. And I'm like, I remember going watching you at the Olympic Auditorium, and you in your ninja suit going, and I'm like, wow. And 3 years later, I'm at your house.
It's kind of like me with this whole thing, man. Like I grew up listening to all old school rap. And now I have the privilege of interviewing Compton's Most Wanted, some people from NWA, Pac's family, and I'm sitting back, I'm like, what the hell, if only, like, my high school self could see me now, you know what I mean? Like, if only I knew what was coming my way, I would have geeked the fuck out.
You know who else does that? It trips me out every time he do it is Nori. When Nori do his little, the Drink Champs,
yeah.
He go, hold on for a second. I got you in the house. He just go crazy. I be sitting there watching him bust up, because sometimes you just want to sit there and go, okay, all right.
Hell yeah.
But hey, I see your grind. I started, that's you actually would make. I already had a Spreaker account, never used it until I looked at you and I went to see your Spreaker. I went on there and looked at your Spreaker. I looked at your Spotify, and I didn't go to iHeart. I got an iHeart account. I'll never sign into it. And I said, Spreaker connected? I'm doing what he did. That's what made me go back. I was about to dismantle the podcast, too. Because I got podcasts set up with King T and everybody. Battle Cat. We all hung out when we was younger. Everybody used to hang out. The hangout was Slip's business, music people, speaker round. Back in Gardena, California.
And Spreaker is a great platform, Like, to get 3 hours live time, you only pay, like, $30. It's $20 in America, but the Canadian exchange rate is $30 here, and it's a great platform. You know what I mean? It does all the work for you. It distributes all.
I just gave the $72 for the year. I said, I'm cool. I can pay the $72 for the year. And that's affordable.
Oh, it is. And it's a great sounding podcast. You can make your own little radio show as well. It's actually a great platform. I really enjoy it.
Exactly. It is pretty good. So to make me go to a different state of creativity, basically. Because I was going to kind of come out and voice my opinion on things, but sometimes I don't like even. I got a real fetish. Sometimes I don't like hearing my voice, especially when I'm angry. I used to hate my voice. I like my dialect, but hated my voice.
I'm the same way. I hate my voice personally, but then when people hear my radio show, like, "Oh, you have a radio voice," and I'm like, okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you think that, cool, thank you.
Yeah.
You know, it's just your conscience telling you, like, no. You know what I mean?
So put it this way: if I keep this up for 5 years, you got to give yourself a pat on the back because you inspired me to continue going. Basically.
Hey, man.
How about that part?
It sounds great, man. Because honestly, if I can inspire someone I grew up listening to, like, man, that's an absolute honor for me. So, Mike, I want to say thank you for that, man. That actually fuels me to keep going 10 times harder now.
Why not?
You know, if I can inspire one of my idols,
I
man,
was gonna pull a plug on everything. Everything but the CMW radio station. Everything was going to get unplugged but the website and the CMW radio station.
That's crazy. So, like, I actually inspired you to keep doing the whole Spreaker thing.
Yep.
Wow. No, that's an honor, man. That really is. I'm kind of having a white moment here. You know what I mean? Like, that's sick.
Hey, have a moment, Sue. We all, you know who you need. Have you talked to Ralph N from Funk Dubious?
No, I have not.
Please get him on your show, man. This is the guy right here. A lot of people don't know. You gonna mention my name. He gonna say, I met Mike T when I was young. He was like 14 years old. And he was bad on them turntables then. He's still hip hop. Me, I was more gangster. I was more with the streets.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I was able to go in between the streets, the club, the Crips and the Bloods. It didn't matter who they were. I was still able to go through without a ghetto pass. I don't use a ghetto pass. I use my influence of, hey, it's a lot more than what you box yourself in for.
And that's
sometimes
true.
You have to ignore ignorance because a lot of times ignorance have a problem with itself. Then you can go do a lot more than you want to do, you know. But yeah, Ralph M, tell you, I've been knowing Ralph forever. Battle Cat, I've known him forever. My biggest inspiration is DJ Bobcat and General Lee and Fred Lowe. DJ General Lee, Bobcat, and Curtis Harmon too. Like I said, the early club DJs, they were, and DJ Slip too, because DJ Slip told me not to be a one-sided DJ. He told me to make sure my left hand and my right hand work equally good.
DJ Slip,
and don't think
legend in the rap game. Legend, DJ Slip.
I'm going to tell you something. If Slip and I went and decided to do an album with just beats and really go like retro, would blow your fucking mind.
Hell yeah.
We would, but I don't do it no more. I wanted to break the door barrier with my scratching. And I did it to a performance of myself that I understand what I did. Then I sat down and said, okay, what do I want to do next? I said, I want to take care of my child. So I got my child, from the mama. I had the child live with me, till she got a certain age. And then I just went and chilled out, Then I started watching the music and recording industry as a fan. And then what happened was there was a dude named DJ Tracy. He was a K-Day mix master. He used to DJ for K-Day. He used to DJ for Jazzy, not Jazzy, Def Jeff. He used to DJ for Body and Soul. He DJ for a lot of groups, low key. He used to DJ on In Living Color.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. Living Color, great TV show.
Remember the SW1 and Sean Wayans was the DJ. He wasn't the actual dude cutting. My boy Tracy was the one doing the cut.
Really?
Huh. Yeah. If you ever read the credits, sometimes they show the credits, you're going to see Tracy Robinson.
Okay. I actually did not know they did that.
Yeah, Tracy was actually the one that every time you hear the scratching in the background, chicka, that was Trey Ski. Trey ended up committing suicide in 2010. And I wasn't going to do it. He kept asking me for years, for like 5 years, Mike, please come back and do music. Because his style of DJ, not really DJing, but his production style and his DJ style kind of came from my style. But he would take what I teach him and put it, it's like, you know how you write your name on the paper? People write, sometimes their words all curve, kind of point diagonally to the right.
Yeah.
He would copy what I do, but his words would point to the left.
Oh, shit.
And I can actually tell the difference when I hear him mix, what I show him and where it comes out at. I always say, dude, you actually turned it into your own move. Now I got to learn what you did. Because DJs build up to do certain things. And he will build his up so differently. I was just watching sometime. One time we had got into a DJ contest. I only been in two of them. I got kicked out of one. And the first one was a setup, so we were all involved in the setup. But the one that was a setup, he actually beat everybody. He beat me. He beat Battle Cat. Tracy beat DJ Muggs. He beat Let Loose. He beat everybody that got on the turntables that night. But since it was a setup, DJ Muggs from Cypress Hill ended up winning that round because that's when they sent DJ Aladdin to New York, and Aladdin, him and Miz was going at it from Philly, but Aladdin went and entered New York in the DMC and won the New York belt. And when they brought it back to the West, they told me what happened. I said, I don't care who wins, who y'all want to represent. They said, Mike T, we want you or Battle Cat and DJ Muggs to win. To go and represent. I said, I can't. I'm on tour with CMW, so it's got to either be Battle Cat or Trey Ski and Muggs. So it ended up being Trey Ski and DJ Muggs going out to represent the West Coast. But that was a setup that the West Coast had did.
Oh.
And stole the belt from New York. Cause remember that LA and New York was battling too much.
Oh, yeah. All the time. East versus West, all the time.
So it didn't end up with the DJ, ended up becoming Philly and LA. So if you ever listen back to Mixmaster Spade, what's that? The jingle, what's the one by Rock Steady? Wherever one by Mixmaster Spade, you're going to hear DJ Pooh, I'm down to do whatever it takes to make the people say, ooh. He going to say, them suckers in Philly, you dumb hillbillies. LA was already ready to go and gear up to go at Philly.
Okay, shit.
Before Joe Cooley and Cash Money got into it.
That song was just adding insult to injury pretty much then.
Yeah. Joe lost the battle because he played Tour de France and New York was not into fast music. But if they actually sat down and looked at what he did with Tour de France, he would have won. But since they was all high, they was all in that mellow world, they did not want to hear that fast electro bullshit. His time was enough. The Hashim, this time, that was enough. And when he played Tour de France, it just knocked him off. But what he did, he was inventive, but they didn't want to hear it. They wanted to hear slow, mellow, melodic rap. That's how New York was back then. Everything had slowed down.
And Mike, I don't want to cut this short, but we're running out of live time, unfortunately. I wish we didn't have to, because I'm enjoying this interview. I really am. But this is the time in the interview that I give the chance for the individual that comes on the show a chance to give their shout outs to whomever they want to give shout outs to, and also their social media handles. That way, our listeners can follow you if they're not already doing that.
Okay, well, my handle is, my Facebook is pretty much, you can subscribe to my Facebook channel, and it's DJ Mike T, West Coast Scratch Gang. My Twitter account is DJ Mike T of CMW. Instagram is DJ Mike Teasley. And that's basically it. Snapchat, I really don't too much use that. I think that's DJ Mike Teasley, too. But I had to actually age my name because it was, like we said earlier, there was so many Mike T's when I was coming up. I said, well, let me put a twist on it, and then people kind of adapted to that.
Oh, yeah.
As far as my music is all West Coast Scratch Gang.
And that's available on all platforms, right?
Yes, sir. All platforms, West Coast Scratch Gang.
So get it today, everyone. Get it today. Get it. Don't think. Just buy. It's Christmas time. Give yourself a Christmas gift. West Coast Scratch Gang.
And if you don't like it, it's all good because, like I said, I make music that only I can get into. I can't really hear nobody rapping to the music that I make. It's just what I do when I get bored. I decide I want to put these pieces with these pieces, kind of collage.
Hey, you're at this point in the career, man, that you can just do it yourself. You can do whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? At this point,
because
you've already made it.
The platforms are so easy. Hey, I released 10 albums this year under Song Trader for $49.
That's actually not bad. That's a damn good price.
I can release an album. It takes 2 weeks for it to upload. But as fast as I can upload these albums, I make my own record covers. I just be cheesy and make some cheesy record covers. It's not really to make the money because I'm actually going into retirement. So it's just to keep my mind busy so I don't stagnate. That's why I do what I do. But the more you do, the better you get.
And that's true. You know what I mean? Practice makes perfect.
There you go. And all I got to tell the next generation, if you can't learn to write down a whole 360 of things that's correlated. And then make another one, because besides music, I did construction all my life. When CMW was on tour, I worked at a hospital with a tool belt on, and I had to finagle how to take my grievance days, my sick days, my personal days for these tours, and my vacation time to match out with all these tours. You know what I'm saying? So it worked. Like I said, I worked a lot more than I rested back then, but now I'm well rested and well connected with myself. So, like I said, plan your attack. You may not make it, but just learn to. If you can't get there, maybe you can make it wiser with somebody else that's able to break through, so you can get you a 10 or 20% co-management fee. Steer somebody in the right direction. But all they want is it's automated, so nobody's really checking and helping you these days. You gonna press the right buttons or you not? It's yay or nay.
And that's real truth right there. I want to say, Mike, thank you so much for coming up on Outlaw Radio Live, man. It was an absolute honor and a privilege. And thank you, actually, for telling me that, I inspired you to keep doing this, man. Like, that's an honor to hear that from a legendary individual like yourself, man. Especially... Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. I gotta say, Mike, thank you so much for coming up on the air, man. It was an absolute honor, man. Thank you so much.
Okay, no problem, man. If you want it again, just hit me up, man. You got my numbers.
Hey, man, most definitely. If you need anything as well, if you need your music played, anything, cross-promotion for your show, send me the promo. I'll make sure I play that as well. Bring some traffic to your show as well, man. I'll always have love for CMW.
Okay, it's all good. You recorded me, and guess what? I recorded you, so
that's what you do it.
To the next level.
Most definitely, Mike.
To the next level, bro.
Thank you so much, man. Have yourself a wonderful night, and Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Same to you, bro.
Peace.